Okay, this is a very quick demonstration just to show how to set up a bill of materials with a using weldment cut lists and pulling in a unit cost per length in from the weldment. So the first thing to do is look at your tools options, file locations, and go down to weldment profiles just to see where your oops, wrong one. Weldment profiles to see where your profiles are stored. This is the default directory. I recommend that you make your own external to the install directory, but for now I'm going to browse to here and modify one of the installed ones. So first thing I'm going to go open, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to filter purely just for library feature parts. Okay, because that's where all the weldment profiles are. And we'll see in here that this is the same directory that we just looked at a moment ago. So I'm going to select the 80 by 80 by 5, and I'm going to come in here. You can see it's purely just a sketch that's been saved as a library feature part. See that by the symbol. And if I go File, Properties, you'll see that it has a number of custom properties in here, description and material. These get pulled into the cut list properties by default when you make a weldment. So we can add in here a unit cost. So just be careful that this is unit sensitive. So because I'm going to be working in millimeters, I'm going to have a unit cost. So $0.013 per millimeter or $13 per meter. So we can use that. OK. Close that. And we're going to save it. I already have a part with a sketch drawn here. We can see. So I'm going to just select these lines. We're going to add a weldment profile. You can see I've already selected the 80 by 5. And let me select that. Maybe not because it's not contained. Let me just make a new group. Create a new group. Okay, so we've got a number of properties in there, a number of parts. So we can see if we update our cut list to group them together, we see we've got our 3 cut list items. And for each and every one of these, we right click properties, we see that cost has now come through. We could have added them individually at this point, but this way we just use the templates and they automatically come in. So I'm going to save that, and we're going to make a drawing of it. Let's pull in a quick view. Doesn't really matter which one it is. In fact, we're going to work with this one, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to add a bill of materials. So bill of materials. Note, working with the cut list hasn't got quite the same level level of control as working with a bill of materials. So you can basically put equations in just for cells in a cut list, not for the whole column. I'm sure that will change with time. So no number in, we can just put detailed number in there as well if we like, whatever we want. I'm going to stick with a detailed cut list, that way it will detail each member. So we can see in here that we've got quantities of these in this bill of materials, and here's the breakdown of the items. So all I need to do is right click on here and say insert column on the right. So you see I can choose any custom property. So you see when I get to the little grey arrow, that's when I can click, right click, insert column on the right. This time I'm going to make this one length. And this time I'm going to right click, insert, right click, insert column. If you can't see that, let me just move this across. Right click, insert column on the right. And this time I'm going to say I want an equation. Okay, and I'm going to say this is going to be one column, so I'm going to say it's going to be quantity, and I'm going to type in times symbol times cost times length. Okay. pop that in. We're not worried that it returns zeros at the moment, that's a little glitch, but as soon as we reuse the table they will work just fine. So again, if you want to edit that equation, you can see the little symbol here, we can quickly come in and say we want to add a new equation, and change it. You can even add in there, oops, I didn't want to click that. We'll just get rid of that. You can add in precisions and other stuff as well while you're at it. And what I'm also going to do before we finish, I'm just going to click over here again, the little grey arrow, right click, insert a row below. I'm going to double click this to get rid of it, and say that I only want to make that hyphen. You put a total in there, and then here on this particular cell I can add an equation just to that cell, and I can say I want to sum, or I can total the whole column if I want. So total the whole column. Okay, so that's it set up. What I'm going to do, I'm going to click on the bill of materials and see when we get this little blue arrow in the corner. That will enable us just to right click and go save as. And then I can say this is detail cost. You can call it whatever you want. I'm just going to save it like that. So now, if I get rid of this table and we insert that again, so select a view. So I want a bill of materials, and I want a, where are we? So weldment detail cost, that's what I called it. Okay, yes, pop that in, and we can see it's populated those, although it hasn't pulled in my total, so you're going to have to add that again. But it has multiplied 2 by 0.013 by 2018, giving us a cost of $54.